How would
I
you
do remember
describe
that.
then the Packer fan base, and why does the team resonate so well nationally?
I think that they hold so much history. They hold so much history, which I can talk forever. If I ever am around and I'm drinking and I'm having a good time, and then somebody just brings up like, "Why are you a Packer fan?" and I just spit out all these facts. They had their documentary on. They have it on Packers.com, I believe, and it's a 10-hour documentary. I have
Oh
seen it
wow.
5 times. I have
Wow.
seen it 5 times. So if you want to know exactly what happened throughout, every episode is within a 10-year span. So it was like it was
Oh
for the
yeah.
100-year celebration. They did every episode is 10 years. So it's like a 10-hour long documentary. And
Wow.
um I think they just hold so much history. And one of my uncles, he's a Cowboy fan. He's like, I just wish y'all can be bad sometimes. That's what he said. And I said, we were bad in the 80s, like we've had our time that we're bad. We're not always good. He's like, yeah, but y'all are spoiled. Like you've had Favre and Rodgers. Like what the
Yeah.
hell? Like it's just, I think they just hold so much history. And the fan base is something else, honestly. And I'm really proud to be part of that fan base, because you can say all you want that Dallas is the best fan base, or I don't know. People like to argue with me here in Texas just because they want to argue. Yeah, they just want to fight. And then they realize that I'm the daughter of a coach. So it's like,
There you
oh,
go.
she knows what she's saying. But it's just there's people being buried. There's a company that makes caskets that are just green and gold
Oh jeez.
and Packers, and people are being buried in those. Like it's just that fan base is so true to it's a way of life, and I think it's so beautiful. And I love to see when somebody, like whenever I'm at the stadium and I see everybody all together just rooting for our team, I think it's so beautiful. I know I get really emotional, but that fan base is something else. Those are die
Yeah.
hards. I have friends, and I'm probably going to be one of those people that gets tattooed like the G on my shoulder or something.
Do you have a Packer tattoo?
I want one. I want the G for sure.
You know who has a G tattoo on themselves?
Who?
Harry Styles.
Oh yeah, Harry
He's a
Styles.
Packer fan.
So you know what? He's a Packer fan because when he first came,
Oh, I know the story. Yeah,
his
sure.
roommate. Yeah, his roommate, and then yeah, I know everybody's story of like why they're Packer fans. Like Lil Wayne, like I know exactly why he's a Packer
How did
fan. I
Lil
think
Wayne become a Packer fan?
Lil Wayne's story is actually really beautiful. So his stepdad was a huge Packer fan. And so his stepdad would buy like Green Bay cups, Green Bay towels. And he was like, we were so poor that we didn't really have regular towels or like regular cups. Like he's like, every morning I would wake up and drink out of a Green Bay cup because like we were poor. We didn't have fancy stuff like that. Yeah. He's like, so whenever he's like, I go for the Packers because that was home for me. Home, it embodied home for me. I had to use a Green Bay towel every day. My mom wouldn't buy fancy towels for us that, all the other kids had.
Yeah.
And I can totally relate to that. My dad has a Green Bay Packer toaster. Like,
nice.
Like the toast of bread with a big old G on it. And
wow.
Yeah. And so I think my siblings and I can totally relate to that. We're all Green Bay Packer fans, like diehards. You see our pictures. We're crazy. Because growing up, my parents would like cram us all into one car, and we would drive 24 hours. It's a 24-hour drive.
Oh wow.
To Wisconsin, from the bottom of Texas all the way to Wisconsin.
That's a trip.
Yeah, and we did this for every year for 9 years.
Wow.
Because Wisconsin is the place that I've been the most. So I've been to Wisconsin like 9 or 10 times. But and so they would take us, and we take that trip every other Christmas. It was so we actually had snow on Christmas. We still do. We hate spending Christmas here in Texas because we're like, it just doesn't feel like Christmas. It's hot.
Yeah.
It's 100 degrees on Christmas here.
Hmm.
So we would travel all the way up to Wisconsin. We would spend Christmas with my grandparents, and that was what we knew. That was our Christmas. So
Yeah.
so now Christmas here isn't the same. I always want to be up there, and I know my Wisconsin friends freak out. They're like, "Why would you want to come to Wisconsin in December?
Yeah.
Like that's the worst time to come." I'm like, because that's home for me. That's what I.
Yeah.
That is the one place where I don't get homesick. Yeah. So
Let me see if I got something here.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
So I'm showing her right here. I own a share in
That is so stinking
Green Bay
great.
Packers. So I'm actually one of the owners. Right here.
Nice. That's so awesome.
You got one of these?
No, but my cousin's grandpa, my cousin's the only boy grandson on
Okay.
their side of the family, so he's getting a share. But that's amazing. I would love to do that. I would love to own a share.
Look at that.
And I also want season tickets, but I know I will have to wait 30 years.
Are you on the wait list?
I want to be on the wait list.
Well, why don't you just put yourself on the wait list?
I totally should, right?
I think I haven't checked recently. I was at 104,000. I think I'm down to 94.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, no. And that too, like it's very frustrating to be a Packer fan in Texas, just because I feel like, I don't know if you remember this commercial. It was a long time ago, and my mom would tell my dad that he had fan displacement syndrome, FDS. It came out. It was a Sunday Ticket commercial, because they were kind of saying like, if you have FDS, you should get Sunday Ticket so you can watch all the games. Fan displacement syndrome is when you're away from your team. You live in the state away from your team.
This is diagnosable.
Yeah. So I have fan displacement syndrome, and I part of me wants to move to Wisconsin. I'm like, I give myself 5 years. I'll probably end up moving there soon. But just because Texas, I have not been having it here in Texas whatsoever. But like the weather, everything's crazy. So, yeah, I that would be amazing. I want to get on the season ticket wait list, and I want to own a share. Like,
Maybe
that's so awesome.
they'll put some more out.
Yeah.